Hi guys, I hope you all had an awesome week. I am here with my sculpture. I've put her in the sun. I've basically just rolled her to the end of my garage where it's nice and sunny. And basically what I'm going to do now is just fill in any parts that need a little bit more epoxy, or sand down places that might need a little bit less. And I put her in the sun so that I can see where those places are. Because the sun is just a real strong light source, and it'll throw all those shadows there, and it'll tell me what I need to do. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to film that part because I don't want to put my phone in the sun because it'll die, and also because it's just not really that interesting. When you get really close to the sculpture and when you're up close, you can see the difference, and you can see all these little finishing details that I'm doing right now, but on a video, you can't really see the difference too much. So yeah, but that's basically what I'm doing right now. And then it's going to be time to paint my sculpture, and I'm so excited for that part because then she's almost done. And I feel like you really kind of start to see a sculpture's personality and like the finished effect when you start to get that paint on there. So I'm excited. Alright, the sun's setting now. I've been sculpting all afternoon, just kind of evening up all those little places. I haven't quite finished yet. I'll come back to her tomorrow and do a little bit more. I want to make sure that she's really right on before I start finishing her with paint. Yeah, one thing I'm still going to do is add some more like little tendrils to the ends of her braids, just to make them look a little bit more lifelike, because right now they're kind of just in a big clump here. And yeah, some of what I've been doing today is I added that 307 Light Flex epoxy over the metal ring and a few places that I had missed in here that needed some epoxy to cover up the pipe and the other metal. And then I'm also, I added some little earlobes and hint of ears to her, and kind of evened up the back of her head a little bit, just all those little finishing touches that need to happen before you can really consider a sculpture complete. So yeah, I'll be back at her tomorrow. Alright, so I have done some good evening up of this sculpture over the last few days and filling in, little places where she just needed some adjustment. I may have to do a little bit more, but right now it's kind of hard to see exactly what I need to do because I have so many different kinds of epoxy. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the first coat of paint on her, and if I need to even some things up from there, I can. But she may be good to go. We'll see kind of how it goes, but I'm going to get the first coat of paint on there. You're definitely going to want to make sure that your first coat is a primer. So I've chosen a paint that is like a paint and primer in one, and that'll be good enough for what we're doing here. If you paint a surface like metal, plastic, or glass, anything really smooth, you'll want to get like a really good primer, like an extra good primer, and then paint over the top of that. But with something like this, the Easy Carve and these epoxies in general, they have some porousness because they're meant to take paint really well, and they do. So I'm just going to use paint and primer in one. I'm going to use an exterior paint because she's going to be an outside sculpture, and I'm starting with like a turquoise color, and so I'm going to do all over one color, and then I'll start adding in, assuming she's all good and I don't have to even anything else up, then I'll start adding in some shadows with some purple and some highlight colors of like gold and maybe some copper. We'll kind of see how she ends up going. But yeah, I'm really excited to just get that first coat on her and kind of see, how her form ends up looking, because right now she's several different colors, and it's sort of the illusion of her form is a little disrupted here and there, so it's kind of hard to see exactly what I'm working with. But yeah, so that's what's going to be happening now. I'm going to probably just mostly use a brush. I also have some turquoise spray paint. I may use that for some of the kind of harder to reach areas with a brush. We'll see. But I've got some plastic on the floor, and I've put some tape over her eyes and over her base to protect everything else. And it's time to get started now. So I've got her painted up one solid color now. She kind of looks like the bottom of a swimming pool right now. She's gonna have a lot more different colors and depth to her when she's all done, but it's kind of nice to just get a little bit of paint everywhere and go from there. Now that I've done this color, I think what I'm gonna do actually is paint her right side like a warm pink color and really enhance that division that she has. I've kind of been thinking about what this negative space in the middle of her means, you know, because there's a lot of symbolism there. I think there's a lot of different things that could come to mind. You know, on one level she's sort of divided, you know, and she's kind of only held together by these really tenuous threads here. So, you know, kind of the idea of that split self, and I really want to enhance that by doing this side a different color than this side. So I'm really going to focus on warm colors over here, cool colors over here, and kind of blend them into like a unison of purple in the middle. And there will be lots of metallics and other fun accents. And yeah, so I think I am done evening this piece up. I kind of just wanted to check and make sure that she looked good. And it was really hard to tell that with all the different colors of epoxy. But yeah, I think she's ready to continue painting, so that's what I'm going to do. I am so happy with what I've done on this piece in the last couple of days. So she's not totally finished yet. I still need to add some color up here, and a lot of her backside isn't finished yet. And I need to just kind of blend the colors more, and I'm going to add some metallic gold still and some other finishing touches. And then once all her painting is done, I'm going to coat her in a nice clear coat epoxy varnish, which will protect from the sun and it'll protect from the elements and whatnot. But she is definitely the most colorful sculpture that I've ever built. I always love to use a lot of different colors in my sculptures, and I just love playing with color, but she's like the furthest that I've pushed it. She's super psychedelic looking, and I think her name is Mollie. It's a name that I've been playing with. It's kind of a name that I had in the back of my mind for her since the beginning, but I wasn't sure about it until recently. So yeah, but I'm so happy with her. She's the first life-size piece that I've done fully out of epoxy. I've done, you know, cement and other things in some of my pieces, but she's the first life-size piece that's just all epoxy. and I just love the detail that I've been able to get with her. She's just so lifelike, even though she has these crazy colors. So yeah, I really love her. She's so much fun, and I'm so excited to be finishing her, and hopefully soon in the spring or sometime she will be going to her first city to make her debut as a public art piece. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and have an amazing weekend. Bye!